Welcome back to The Edge in Hand. Today we've got a very special guest all the way from beautiful Mobile, Alabama. This is a hefty, burly, badass knife. It weighs in at 12.5 ounces, is 9.5 inches long when it's opened, and will more than likely pull the pocket off of your best pair of pants. It's none other than the Heeter Knifeworks Man of War. Bask in its glory. Be overshadowed by the blocking of the sun. This is a serious knife. Each of these knives are custom made to order. Not sure the length of time that it takes, but it's well worth the wait. This knife was passed to me by a friend to do some basic maintenance and sharpen. So I'll go through that whole process there. But first, some more specs on this knife here. The frame is made from titanium, both sides. The blade is a CPM 3V, which started at nearly a 1/4 inch blade stock and then was ground down. We've got a nice hollow grind and then this beautiful arcing cutting edge there. Look at that. As you can see, the flip on it takes a little effort there. That's one of the things I plan to fix up once we open it up. Let's get a closer look at what we're dealing with here. Right off the bat, you notice these big hollow finger grooves here. These give you such a nice grip when you're wielding it. And this is a hatchet style blade, so you need that nice positive grip. The fingers aren't spread out too much. Okay, and you can get a really nice grip on it as you're whacking through stuff. That's what you choose to use it for. Or even if you're just cutting open boxes. If we look up close here, we've got some accentuating details here, hand ground touches along the edge. Okay, even on the back spacer. It's reversible pocket clip, so you can carry it on the right side or the left side, whichever you choose. And this knife flips very well in both hands. Some of the details I like about this knife are the details put in by the knife maker. Notice that when we're fully open here, the frame and the blade stock line up. They're ground together. This gives you a great thumb jimping here, so you can really put a lot of force down on that blade. So what we're going to do next is we're going to open it up, take a look at what's on the inside, and then we'll do the sharpening, and then we'll come back at the end and wrap up. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take out the pocket clip. And I'm going to take out these other Torx bolts holding in the back spacer. Take a look at that. Normal use in the pocket, collecting some lint. Okay. Not a bunch, but enough, and we'll see what kind of collection we got when we take out that main pin and look at the bearings. Start on this side. So one thing I'm noticing here is that this wasn't very tight. And you're certainly not going to lose this screw if it's not very tight, but we don't want that to become proud of the frame here. Alright. So here we have the inside of the frame. As we had in the back spacer, pretty good amount of pocket lint, nothing bad though. This is one of the surfaces that the bearings run across. That may be why we have a little bit of grit when we're opening it up, because this is a textured surface. So if we want to smooth that out, we can take some fine grit sandpaper and create a nice little surface here for those bearings to roll on. And you can see the bearings here. These are thrust needle bearings, caged. So we move them around. They're all free, all moving well. And we can see that path for the detent bearing. It's already put a pretty good amount of wear into that. No big deal though. And this is another surface that could be cleaned up to take out some of that grit feeling. Now you can see inside that track the shiny spots. It looks like the bearings are really only touching in a few main places in this track here, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but over time we might get some uneven wear on the bearings. We certainly have uneven wear on the inside of this track here. Well, we'll clean that up and get it nice and smooth and grit free. Here's our other set of bearings. All of them moving nicely. And then the other side of the frame, same thing. Clean off our lint. There's a little detent bearing, nice and hefty. This piece of titanium is nice and stiff, so you get a very positive retention, both on the closed position and the open position. So that's a look inside. I'm going to go ahead and clean up these parts, put it back together, run it through sharpening, And then at the end of it, we'll take a look one more time, talk a little bit more about our special friend here. Alright, so we got the Man of War all cleaned up and sharp. Put a nice mirror edge on there. So what do we think about this knife? I think that the materials used are excellent. The way they're handled, the attention to detail, all the hand ground accents are fantastic. A lot of time and effort and planning went into this. There are a couple little things that I picked out while sharpening this that would bring this to another level. Number one, on the inside of the knife, where the bearing raceways are, those could be ground smooth, and that would take away some of this gritty feeling as you open and close this slowly. But you don't feel that or hear that at all when you're flipping it. The other thing I notice is that the grind towards the heel of the blade is just a little bit uneven. Between here and here and here and here is about a millimeter and a half difference, which could either be from the grind being closer to one side than the other, or that the angle was different all the way through. And I think that it's just because it's a little bit off center that we saw a longer side here than on this side. But that's okay. So all in all, this is a exceptional piece of handiwork, and I'm really happy that I got to bring this in and take a look at it and work with it. And hopefully I get an opportunity to work with these a little bit more in the future. Thank you very much for watching today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this piece of craftsmanship here, and we'll see you on the next one.